Hello, welcome to the program Inspire Children Imprinting Generations. My name is Memory Chiketa and I'm your host. Remember, every week we are on this program to amplify the voices that can build our children as we eliminate negative reinforcements. And this journey of imprinting the next generation and affecting the lives of our children, it begins early. And there are so many elements in the continuum of care. There are so many things that contribute, like what the scriptures say, many things work together for something to happen. And there are many things that work together for us to bring out a child who is well adjusted. And so today on the program, we want to talk about one common aspect that we have all been through and what all our children will pass through. We're going to talk about puberty. We'll look at puberty and some of the issues that make them vulnerable to sexual assault around us and how we're going to deal with them. And for us to do that, we have in the house an expert guest who has worked with children and families, Mrs. Mashingaidze. Welcome to the program, Mom.
Thank you so much.
So today we have it's a sensitive, but all of us have passed through that, puberty. Yeah, and none is spared. And all of us, even some that are now seemingly okay, but wakapfura nehondo dzepuberty. Can we just lay a foundation for us in today's discussion? What is puberty? What are we talking about when you talk about puberty? That particular stage, critical stage in the development and the growth of a child.
Thank you so much. Puberty, we are focusing on a level of growth, which everybody, like you correctly says, goes through. As children move from the different stages of childhood, they enter this stage of puberty, which these days is as early as 8 years, mind you, and in rare cases as late as 18, 19. Of course, with the extreme outliers, you might find that we now have issues that need to be dealt with. But under normal circumstances, when a child goes into the transition in puberty, they have physical changes, they have emotional changes, they have hormonal changes, which are very, very particular and distinct. And we believe if we get to know that these changes are not by choice, they are happening because it is the normal path of transition for any child, because puberty is actually the bridge between childhood and adulthood. So the sooner you go through it, the sooner you have full-blown puberty, the sooner you become an adult. Sometimes your body is not in sync, sometimes your environment is not in sync, but when puberty happens, it pushes you into a certain level of adulthood. And like I said, it involves physical changes. For the girls, for instance, you'll find it comes with bodily changes. Physically, they begin to develop breasts, their curves develop more, their genitalia develops more. They start to experience that sense of womanhood approaching them. Sometimes for those with bigger bodies and more of, I would say, a hormonal a disposition. Some families have bigger women in them. So this can actually happen as a flood in the girl child. For some, they are much slower. I've just given a skeleton of the physical changes. Of course, skin changes. Some develop acne. This is coming from the influx of hormones, mind you. They develop acne. Some don't. Some do. They develop stretch marks. And all your body is suddenly
so many
bulking
changes.
up, the shape is changing, and all that's physical for girls. Emotionally, they are becoming more self-conscious. Kasense ke kuva ka lady, kakutanga kuitika. They are developing an understanding of who they are as a woman, which is, I would say, potentiated, for instance, by compliments or lack thereof, the need to feel kuti ndanzwika, ndaoneka, ndacomplimentwa, all of that. Those things are hormonal. They are normal and natural process. For boys, they are developing the manhood. They are seeing changes, growth of their sexual organs, development of pubic hair in both sexes, development of beard, mustache. Some of them also develop acne. The voice becomes deeper. And we have issues because emotionally ari kusensa kuti baba ari pano. Emotionally ari kusensa kuti when I say something I have to be heard. You'll find that when they have female siblings, out of that dominating
it's me
spirit, and in baba pano, I'm the boy in this house. That all happens. It's fueled by a natural hormonal process with physical manifestation.
Okay. You know, those are deep things that you're sharing, but I believe it's going to help our one family or the other. We have not had the chance of sitting probably with elders to really highlight these things and prepare them when they all have their own children. You know, there's something that I want you to talk about and comment. What happens then at this puberty level in terms of the social? What do we see happening? Because remember, there's something you commented. You say we have a trend. Sometimes children, they get early into this puberty. And probably the body is now in this space of being an adult, but the mind is still probably the child. Can you comment more? What do we see happening around their social interactions?
So in their social interactions, especially in the case in which the body grows faster than the mind, for starters, let us remember this is a normal natural process. It is not given kuti uyu mwiri wake uchateera wamai wake giant or asikuzviitisa. Mind yake is that of a little girl, and this is why even our state globally there are child protection laws, because they know kuti inside there's a child.
But
outside you are seeing the body of an adult. So socially, these children are vulnerable to abuse. They are vulnerable to assault. They will walk into, for example, a no under 18s area and look 18 and be allowed in. They will be spotted by predators, sexual predators, who will see kuti aka brain yacho ichiri diki, but mwiri wacho I can get away with murder because ndege nchingoti kana nemiwo amkadzi mukuru. And remember, these hormones are also acting in these children for them to act like a lady. Akutochinja step, akuto understand kuti ndikanzi sindoti, you know, all of those things. But socially, vana ava, they are a target for sexual predators. They are a target for abusers. Both vanemskanzwa never seen those of our girls especially who are saying isusu tiri mapuritans, tiri mavirgin, tiri kuchengetedza, we've been well brought up, and pane akatotarisa arida kuona izvozvo. Pane mumwe akatogara naye muhostel right now who is saying to them tibvira apa. What's so special about that? Pane mumwe out there ari kuti ndio wandiri kutoda wacho, whether for ritual purposes or just because they want to experience kutema karuva kari vulnerable.
We are cruising. I can sense you. I can feel you, Mom. We're going to take a short break and we're going to come back to this particular topic. Viewers, don't go away. What we're talking about today, you really need to hear this. We'll see you after the break. Welcome, Tadzoka Kuchirongwa. We are talking about puberty. My Mashingaidze, you were talking about kutano ikakarua. Talk more about that. It's very important. Emphasize.
As we said, puberty, this child is budding. Transitioning from being a child into being an adult. Just imagine, ikako karua, karukutotanga kutobuda, kakutanga kubuda, kakunotisika by society. There's something here. Oh wow, this is a lily. Oh wow, it's white, it's variegated. We begin to notice, society begins to notice. Maruva yedu akasiyana. Rimwe riri protected, it's in a flower garden. Rekambuya kaya kachembereka murungu, who lives for her flowers. Looks after them. Even the dogs are not allowed there. Rimwewo rakazvinakira, iruva resango, raitaurwa even Bible. But pariri pacho, it's in an environment which is surrounded by thorns, by matombo, nechi. But society is seeing maruva aya. And somebody out there is saying ndoruva randiruda kutema iro riri rakachengeteka, mumwe munhu ari kuda kutoita break those barriers kuti ariteme. Like we said, probably for ritual purposes. Some people out there, isusu kwatinogara, we are in a mining area. We have heard kuti kune masvikiro anotoudza vanhu kuti if you go and touch ka little virgin untouched, ndokuti uone bhande regold and things like that. There's somebody out there looking for that very particular karuva kari super protected. Kari naive, remember, because the body is blossoming, but the mind is still a child. Koti iri gindagoria, this wild flower, which is thriving amongst the thorns, which is thriving amongst the rocks. This is our typical child. This child is naughty, this child is disobedient, and whatever. In their innocence, fueled by puberty, fueled by age, someone out there is saying, do you want to know that I'm going to punish her? I'm going to show her. No strings attached. Other than kubvisa virginity, they want to continue to have sex with her. Aita sex, mwana ari kuita nhumbu, ari kuita zvirwere, vanoramba vachimukuchidzira. They have a pawn that they are working with. Saka mwana uyu aitiswa vulnerability nekuda kwe-environment yake, or nekuda kwe-the inherent miskanzwa yaainayo. And this child is in exactly the same space neakaka kamwana kamfundisi kakarerwa zvakanaka kanotoziva kanotozvichengetedza but kari naive.
Hey, you know, my Mashinga, is the things you're speaking here, they are serious issues. So what can adults do now? I want you to first talk about, you have really highlighted well the vulnerabilities that puberty brings, how it causes a child to be vulnerable because of the changes that are taking place within them. So someone would ask someone who is listening and say, okay, so my Mashinga, how then do we preserve, what do we do as adults that our budding flower is preserved and it buds well, it reaches its maximum without disturbances?
The first thing is to have the knowledge.
Yeah.
If we have this knowledge, number one, that they do not know any better. The state, the legal system has provided for that. Children under 18, a child is a child. Their mind is that of a child. And adults are custodians of children. So we need to put on our protective helmet to know that no matter how much of negative vibes they put, no matter how much naughtiness they exude, no matter how much we want to beat them, but still inside there's a little child crying for help. Know that this is coming from a place of physical growth. It's coming from a place of hormonal influx.
Before you go, my Mashinga, and lest we forget to come back, you talked about punitive disciplining. How then do parents and adults balance puberty stage up, disciplining this child and yet trying to protect and preserve them? Because I've seen there's panosumukama storms. That's when the mom and the daughter, they're at loggerheads. What then do they need to do to balance that? Is being too punitive, being aggressive with the child, is it going to help at this stage? We're saying with their hormones that are running wild, there are changes that are taking place. Will using what do they need to do? Because I think
exactly. I brought you into this world and I can take you out.
I can take you out. Yes.
The biggest issue that we have is, as adults, we need to be able to control our responses to errant behavior, to exposure. How do we do this? I already said knowledge. I am dead beat against do not chase a child. Kana mwana aita mskanzwa mweya wedzokera kwawaitira mabasa ako. Let me tell you something.
Deliver the nation, mom.
Dzokera kwawaitira mabasa ako.
Yes.
True, this child aita mskanzwa. But the moment they step out, trust me, the devil is at work.
There's someone waiting.
There is someone waiting. The boyfriend maybe was a bit hesitant. Maybe nothing actually happened, but they came back late. We don't know what they've been through and what challenges they faced to be able to even come back home. When they do come back home. In all of our anger, we need to establish trust. In all of our anger, we need to establish a safe space. You need to challenge yourself to say, I will protect you with my life. If I'm going to whop you, I'm going to whop you. When I'm done whopping you, I will go into the toilet, cry my heart out and kneel down and beg for your redemption. And then when the anger has sethered, I will sit you down and say, "Ufunge mwanangu, the world out there.
Yeah.
Make sure that this child knows you love them. You protect them. You are only fighting for them. It's not enough to just say it.
Yeah.
Show it. So when they do good every other day, elevate them.
Yeah.
Make them feel guilty about throwing shame to the parent who thinks so much of them.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work because we are at war. But at least it's a step in the right direction. It's a huge step in the right direction. Children need to know they have a safe place in their parents. Do not ndikatanga kufunga absent parents. Hey, don't get me started on that.
Get that.
That's hapana munhu anoda mwana kupfura munhu akamugashira.
Yes.
That might not necessarily be. Some parents are absolutely blatantly careless. There's a group I'm on with certain girls, and a couple of days ago they were talking about at what point should we move out of the house, and they fought amongst themselves. And I was just watching. When we keep you in the house, it's not like we don't want you to grow and find yourself.
Yes.
We are trying to protect you. It's age sensitive. I ended up saying to them, be very cautious. Have you established that sense of responsibility? Have you established that sense of accountability?
Exactly.
You might be that protected flower, and a sense of responsibility, and a sense of accountability. But like defensive driving says, you are the best driver in the world, but you are driving in a sea of you could be the most perfect child. But out there are wolves, lions, tigers that are roaring to try and grab you. My parents, let us establish ourselves as the chief protectors. Tino protector vana vedu physically. Tinoisa barriers, tinokia magate, tinoseta rules, tinomira nema rules atinoseta.
Yes.
We also walk worthy before our children so that we are an example.
Can you repeat that one? That one.
That's just it. That's just it. There's no point when kids become violently errant. They will use your weaknesses against you.
Yes.
So you be careful of exposing. My parents of this age, some of our weaknesses are exposed physically.
Yes.
Mafambira angu chayo, mapfekera angu chayo, mabatira angu chayo, how I speak on the phone. But there's one hidden thing that a lot of us don't remember. Who are our friends on social media?
Yes.
And this is where vana vedu are spending more of their time.
Yeah.
Mama is perfect. She's the perfect role model. But the language yavanotaura pa Facebook, oh my.
Hey.
So when I do this, I am modeled according to that. And there's no way, Mama, you will come and talk me down about ABC. And pamwe pacho, our history.
Yes.
Kana takatendeuka taimbowa mabaddies in our past.
Yes.
We need to tell our children, my child,
I once
yes, I also did this. You may have heard I was untouchable when I was your age.
Yes.
But I realized the error of my ways.
Yes.
It ended me there and there, or by the grace of God, I was saved. And I do not want you to walk in that way. In our days, it was better because ABC. But in these days, the risks that you are up against. When I'm 51, in our days, the biggest fear was just getting pregnant.
Yes.
Yeah. Today,
there are many things.
Even in our days, spiritual ties, it was not even spoken about. But these days, there's a wealth of risks that are out there when a child is sexually exposed, whether willingly or unwillingly. And when we talk about willingly, for a child, apana willingly, because your mind is not yet mature to know the consequences and the effects of what you're up against.
Yes, thank you so much. You know, you are really hitting the nail on the head. Very important insights that you are bringing for us today, Mama Shingayenze. And I believe this is critical information for our children and for our families. And we want to take a short break, and we're going to come back to this particular discussion. Viewers, don't go away. The flower is budding. welcome back, viewers, to the program. We are talking about the puberty stage. We're exploring it left, right, and center. And I believe this will impact your home and your children. So, Mrs. Mashinga, we want to come back to what we're talking. You know, the whole outburst here happened when we talked about the budding flower. And, you know, what are some of the things that you would really want to talk about when it comes to this particular stage? The hormones are taking shape, things are happening, there's chaos all over, and we want to be able to have all things under control.
I think the most important thing I want to focus on is the need for validation in this budding flower. This flower is realizing ndakura. But we already said big body, small mind.
Yes.
This flower takes in positive energy from wherever positive energy is infiltrated. If in the home, mama vandiudza kuti ndiri mboko, I'm always being warped. There's a point at which this child realizes that I can never do you any good.
Yes, I'm not worth
and
it.
This budding flower has this yearning need for validation driven by hormones. They are only just noticing themselves at this point. And you need to nurture and clip ma erandi buds are kubuda anotadzisa the main bud kugrowa.
Yes.
So this child akatadza kuona the love of a father or the love of the male role model in the home at that time. This child anoita dzungu musi waanonzi nakombi driver wadonedza musika makanaka mwana anokuitirai wild. These things are preventable. Ngatidzidzei mama, tell your daughter, oh my sweetheart wakanaka, oh mwana wangu wachena, chibva wagadzirisa apa. This is different from muri kuende pineka gwishu kwamakapfeka munochinjadzisa. You know, it's how we package this budding. When you are budding a flower and you want it to bloom, mukangotora yo fingers modimbura panosara pakashama paine infection, it can wither. But kutori no hanzi chinonzi chisakatoa chigero chiya chinonyatsa kudimbura moisa trisila chinoita kuti zvanga zvagara zvakanaka zviri mukati zvicontainwe zviwe kunobuda into this budding flower. This is our role as parents. Let's give positive affirmations to our children. I'm talking about the girl children here. Mwana wangu wakanaka. Some girls are not pretty at all, given. This girl who is not pretty, muze kuti mwana wangu wakanaka. Muze chaga zviri maari. Haana kunaka zvinoshamisira but anoimba. Haana kunaka zvinoshamisira but chikwapuro kuchikoro. Any little thing that you see your child excelling in, and hapana mwana asina chaanoexcella machiri. Build it up. Blow it up. Let this child walk knowing kuti I'm my parent's star because of ABC.
My God.
When the world treats, let's take this in brackets, ugly girl who happens to have curves in the right places, kombi driver achamudza unodonedza musika. Zvese zvekuti ndakambosekwa neklasi yese kunzi ndakashata handifitwi nemakeup. Akuziva kuti but there's something chiasset chiri pandiri chinondiwanira nzvimbo in society. And this child will make themselves famous for this thing. Amuzokwanisi kumudzora. Kumba kwedu mudze mwanangu your body shape, oh this is lovely, chichi ndichengetere mwana wangu chibaby changu ichi. Let's especially vana daddy, when a male voice gives positive affirmations, ameno zvazvinongoita hormonally, this child will feel anonzi aya machwingu anotinyatswa goosebumps. Goosebumps ngadzive kuna daddy. Oh my daughter, handidi kuti ufambe wega, ndoda kuenda newe, take them out, ngavaende kucreamy in,
it's learning the
language,
language,
freeze it in, ngavaende kumasau in, wherever you are. Zvinonaka mwana ngaatanga azvinzwa kuna baba vake. Mwana ngaanzwe kuti I can come to my daddy and say, daddy, this boy. I can come to my mom. My parents were rigid a lot of the times, and sometimes with knowledge munhu wega anozvizira mwana wake. So you know where their weaknesses, but no matter how much we chide them, we must also equally bring them into the fold so that they understand kuti ndinodiwa, I am protected, I am loved, ndinosimudzirwa. Some children have made it in the world because they are good at running.
And the
I'm
people
not even talking
around
about sport,
them.
running.
Running.
Umwe akaita mari nekumhanya zvese zviri paari, the world will say hapana nezviripo. Asi anogona umwe ane chipo chekuti akakukwesherai kitchen counters, oh boy, musamudze kuti hamuchaita wana madhumbe, mudze kuti I see you running this executive cleaning company. Ucha cleaner mu state house, ucha cleaner makata. Hapana anosukirana ndiro nemwana wangu asikanaka. Aiwa kana neni mai vacho.
Validate, magnify the person.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming to the program, Mrs. Mashingaza. What a powerful conversation we've had today. I know it's going to impact many people. We're going to come back again and we'll have more of these conversations. Dear viewers, thank you for joining us today. We had such a powerful, impactful conversation of ensuring that at that puberty stage, we are there to protect, to be the first line of protection and not to give up. You can build that child and they become something. Magnify the good things that in them. If you've got questions, if you've got reviews, please do send them. Thank you so much for joining us. We see you again next time. Goodbye.